ladies and gentlemen, explorers of all ages, Ponce de Leons and Christopher Columbuses of the world, listen up. We have some new news in this edition of ESO Weekly in the lieu of a map. Yes, the map of Tamriel indeed. Kyle, tell us a bit about what we'll be learning today.
Indeed, this week we will be looking at the interactive map that came out last week on the official Elder Scrolls Online website. So if you have not checked that out yet, we are going to be doing that in the video. And then, of course, you can go on and look at it yourselves. So after that, we're going to kind of go into a discussion on if we think these are all the starting area, or these are all the areas that will come out at launch, or if maybe there will be other ones to be released before launch. We'll have a little debate on that. And then I just wanted to mention that, yes, there was a massive beta test this past weekend.
Huge, absolutely huge.
Pretty sure it has been the biggest one so far because just the amount of people that were breaking NDA just mentioning that they were in it or got their beta key in the mail.
It was everyone and their mother. It was my mother too. She didn't even sign up for beta and she got a beta invite. So yeah, it was pretty big.
Yeah, so I just wanted to urge those that did participate in the past beta to not release any screenshots or any videos. Even if you don't see your little email or whatever plastered on the screen, it's there. If you change the contrast settings and moves things around, you can see that email. So you will be caught and you will be barred from any future beta tests and possibly be under legal action. So be careful and keep that stuff to yourself. All right, so on to the interactive map. So again, this did come out just last week, and we've been looking through it a little bit. You'll see several different zones that you can click on through each of the different alliances. One thing that I actually just realized looking through this is there's these little areas, not just the major zones you can see, but there's these little ones that have like little arrows next to them. And I believe these are the actual starting zones that our characters begin in. So let's see, if I click on one here in the Aldmeri Dominion, I think it's called Kinarthi's Roost?
Sure, that's what we'll call that.
I believe this is the starting area zone for all the Aldmeri Dominion peoples. And you'll actually see there's two areas there connected by bridges.
Yeah, although it's speculation, I think your assumption is at least very, very well founded, because usually what they'll do in games is to make the starting zone an island, something walled off, something you can't escape. That way it serves as your tutorial, you'll learn the game's mechanics, how combat works, how the looting system works, and things like that. And then once you go through that tutorial, then they'll cast you out into the big wide world of Tamriel. It only makes sense, and it's something developers do all the time. Our test games happen the same exact way. In Skyrim, you start as a prisoner. In Oblivion, you start as a prisoner. And in Morrowind, you start as a prisoner. And it's this whole idea that they want to confine you, kind of at least have control over you in your first steps into their world, so that they can kind of guide you along and show you the ways of how things work. So
yeah, most MMOs do that. It's just their little tutorial section to make sure you know how to play the game, so you're not just diving into this huge world blind.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all in good development, where we do love that moment where the doors open to us and we can explore a big wide world. We need that initial babying, just to get the main concept.
Wheels, yeah, those guardrails are up.
Just for a little bit.
But yeah, if you look, you'll actually see Daggerfall and Ebonheart both have two of these starting areas, the ones with the little arrows above them. But then Aldmeri Dominion only has one, so I guess they're only showing one right now, because we're pretty sure this was the last faction that they were working on, at least when it comes to designing the layout and everything.
Best for last, Kyle. Best for last.
Oh boy. So yeah, do you think this will be like all the land we're gonna see, at least at launch?
Honestly, yeah, it's total speculation at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, though. I mean, those zones, you see them highlighted on the map there, and where you might look, oh well, not all of Tamriel's available to us. We knew that from the start, right? We knew there were going to be parts of Tamriel locked out.
Black Marsh for sure. Most of that probably will not really ever be opened because it's just so impenetrable you can't really...
I want the center of Black Marsh opened, but only to the Argonians. That would be cool. It'd be so neat if they had their own little exclusivity in there, and it would be totally lore friendly and make a whole lot of sense.
I think Vardenfell as well will not be unlocked. maybe
Vardenfell?
later.
You mean Valenwood?
No, the island above Mar.
Okay, yes.
That's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
Varden.
you got it. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, with Red Mountain and stuff. That would make sense too, because the choking ash and stuff isn't too good for the respiratory system. At least that's what I'm told. But yeah, you look at this map and you see the highlighted areas. That is still a lot of game. I mean, look at how big those regions are that are all
It's
highlighted.
bigger than you think. I mean, you'll see these zones. You're like, what? There's only 5 big zones. That's it. Well, they're actually regions, and in these regions, I'm pretty sure you're going to see at least a couple zones within that. So you'll have to like travel through, you'll hit one of those loading screens, of course, and then go on to the next zone, still within the same region. So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot more landmass here than we're actually seeing just looking at it on a map.
Yeah. And I have to say, where originally I wanted the whole world of Tamriel open to us, I still want this idea of expansion. When you're going into an MMO, what you're expecting with your subscription fee is that they will add content later on, and whether that be the White Gold Tower, which we know is close to us at the start but will be opened up later. I want Tamriel to slowly open up to us over the course of why we play this game. And, that's something to look forward to, and that's a big reason why the developers have regions that we're just not able to visit yet. These developers, I have no doubt, are limited to the continent of Tamriel. I don't think Bethesda or ZeniMax Media Inc. would allow these guys to do any sort of Akavir.
No, that's stepping on their toes.
Yeah, those are for the boys at Bethesda to do if they ever wanted to do it. But yeah, that's one of the reasons you're seeing this grayed out area here in Tamriel, is because of plans for expansion, of course. But in the meantime, we're not only limited, like if you're an Aldmeri Dominion guy, if you're fighting on the side of good, then, you're looking at the Aldmeri Dominion sections. You're not only limited to that, because we know we have this whole idea of 50 plus and 50 plus plus, where we're going to actually get to go as a Dominion guy to the Daggerfall Covenant territory or the Ebonheart Pact territory and explore those and quest those as well. So that is what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, so unless you're like just burning through content, not reading anything, getting into any of the lore, by the time you finish going through all those 50 plus and plus areas, exploring everything, you'll probably have new content already there waiting on you.
Yep,
for you to explore that.
What we expect.
And the other thing that they don't show here are all the dungeons and stuff for you to go through. I mean, that's whole under cities and stuff to explore as well. So that's more just content for you to cover that isn't listed on the map. So I think we're going to have a lot of stuff to go through at game's launch.
So how much did you click around this actual map? I know you can actually go to regions, click on little symbols, and read. We were just reading a couple before the show here, and I have to say I like the way they set it up, where they're actually talking from the perspective of the citizens of Tamriel. So you're getting kind of like a little excerpt of their life in this land, and it serves very cool, especially because if you go through and read these, there's a lot of excerpts that come from maybe a Khajiit that's in Valenwood that, is talking about how weird the culture is of the Wood Elves. That's what we're going to get a ton in this game, are the races interacting with each other. And if you've followed the Elder Scrolls lore series at all, or if you've read books or played the Elder Scrolls game, you know how vastly different these cultures and these people are from each other. It's why there's so much conflict in Tamriel. And to see that why we play the game, it's going to be even more apparent in the Elder Scrolls Online, because you have these factions actually allying with each other. It's going to make for a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of humor, I think, as well.
I think so as well, yeah. Because, yeah, just go ahead and read some of these excerpts on your own, guys, because you'll see a lot of interesting kind of, I don't want to say conflicts, but definitely culture shock. Culture from one culture interacting with another, calling them, bug biters? And
bug biters, yeah. So there was one we read where the High Elves were calling the Wood Elves bug biters or something like that, because they eat bugs.
Let's
the Wood
describe
Elves
what we thought them as. So the Wood Elves are like what? The backwater hick folk, right?
Sure, they're country. Like the hicks of the elves, Their country, they wear loincloth, that sort of thing, And then we have the High Elves, very high, sophisticated,
prim and proper.
Yes. who the wood elves broke away from them for that very reason, is because they were so stiff and proper all the time. And so to see those two interact with each other just with this little this little piece of information you're reading is very, very cool. And then there was another one, right? The Khajiit.
We'll cover that later, though, because
Okay.
that comes later on in there. So, what do you guys think about this whole interactive map? Take note that it does say come back soon to explore new regions of Tamriel. So
Sure.
maybe later on they will be showing some more things off for us to read and enjoy.
Yep, these were only the zones they wanted to actually show at the moment. Were there any in Black Marsh at all? That's my question. I don't think there's... Black Marsh looks pretty... okay, Shadowfen.
is part of Black Marsh, isn't it?
Part
That's
of
like
it.
the very bordering... Yeah. So yeah, a lot of Argonian stuff here.
Yeah.
Neat little screenshot. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. There's all these zones, each one of them, if you click on the treasure chest icon, you'll see a screenshot of that region. So you'll get to see what it'll look like in the game. So definitely cool. Alright, so actually that was pretty much it for the news this week. There's really nothing, but at least there was that came late last week that we weren't able to discuss last week, so yeah. So let's go into the developer question of the week, which just so happens to deal with the new interactive map here. So let's go ahead and listen to that.
Hi, my name is Jim Burnham, Customer Support Business Improvement Manager here at ZeniMax Online Studios, and here's your question of the week. The new interactive map on our website allows you to view Tamriel through the eyes of the people who live there. Which character did you enjoy reading about the most, and what question would you ask them if given the chance?
Well, that did fall right in line with exactly what we were talking
Yep.
about, was this whole idea we're getting to see Tamriel from the eyes of the characters that live there, and it's very cool. So what was your favorite read, Kyle?
Alright, so this is the one that you were mentioning just before I had to cut you off. I'm like, no.
I think
the
yours is
Khajiit.
mine. Yeah,
The Khajiit, his name was Adibazi, I think, something like that. He's in the Gratwood zone, so if you click to that, you can find him there. He was just talking about how he was trying to trade things with these wood elves who he's not dealt with before, and they had no interest in trading with him. They were just telling him riddles and stuff, and
They were
wanting
toying
to,
with
to
him.
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
like bet on how many leaves were in this big tree, and whoever got closest they would take all the goods of the other person or something like that. So yeah, it was amusing to read that and watch just the frustration of this Khajiit not being able to do what he does best, which is trade.
Exactly. Yeah,
Sugar dreams or whatever. Sugar
that
dreams.
was very funny. You know, Khajiit, I mean, they must have to have really good public relations with, foreigners all the time, because that's what they do. They have their caravans, right?
Yep.
And then we see them all throughout the provinces, and so to see that little glimpse through the eyes of Khajiit dealing in Valenwood just adds to that whole thing where it's going to be a lot of fun to see these races interact with each other. I'd follow a Khajiit caravaner just to see his reactions to
I would. It would be fun.
the different races he comes in contact with. But yeah, and then the other one, I guess, I just to be original and try to switch up my answer from yours, I think mine was the bug biter. I did like the bug biter one because I think it was from the perspective of a wood elf child.
I think so, yeah, because he took the kid's toy boat or
Yes.
something.
Okay. So what happened is this wood elf child and this high elf child, right? That's how the scene is set up, and this high elf child is calling the wood elf child a bug biter because that's part of the wood elf diet. They eat bugs and caterpillars and all sorts of nasty stuff like that. And this wood elf child got mad at the high elf child for calling him a bug biter and took his little toy boat away from him. So take that little high elf snot. Yeah, that was a good moment. I think it was especially interesting too that the high elf child was playing with a toy boat, which would make sense, right? Because we have the high elves. They're known for their very strong navy, their very strong naval presence on the seas. So it's just a little shit like that. I eat up. And
Just watch the movie City Slickers and you'll get the scene just perfect. Love that movie. All right.
Yeah, let us know your guys's, if you did get the chance to read through it, what your favorite little excerpt was from that.
Yeah, you guys's.
You guys's. Yes, we do. We know it's improper grammar. We still say it anyway.
We do it anyway.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's go into our community segment, starting off with the questions from the audience. First one, and probably my favorite for this week, is from Brian, and it's about a mailing system.
Hello, ShoddyCast. I know that for a mailing system, ESO will probably do what MMOs do by having mailboxes located around cities. But what would you think if they put in a system where you would have an instant courier come to you whenever you received mail? Thanks for all the work on the show and stay beautiful.
So mailing systems, let's see, World of Warcraft, they just had a basic, you go to a mailbox, you can send stuff, you can take CODs on stuff.
Yes, the Azerothian postal service, as it were.
Sure.
That's how I explained it in my mind anyway.
Now, a system I really liked in Guild Wars 2 was that there were no mailboxes you went to. You basically you can send mail via carrier pigeon. And they did a really cool thing where anytime you received mail, a bird would actually fly on your screen to you and then fly away, and that was you getting your mail.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Very, very cool, but I never saw this happen. Like, I know it was there and people
You
talked
never
about
saw it happen.
I never actually
I
had
actually
it happen to me.
did see it happen, because I tried it, so I can't remember if I just had someone send me something just to check it out, and indeed, it does do it every time.
It must be
A bird
subtle.
flies. It is.
because
It's a very
I
small
miss
bird,
it.
but it does fly right to your character and then fly away.
That's cool.
It's really cool. But the idea here Brian had, was that, you know how couriers come up to you in Skyrim, right? All the time.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever you use a shout in town or something, a guy comes up to you with some Jarl or something, says, hey, I know where you can go and find another shout or something like that. So why not have a courier actually come up to you, give you mail anytime someone sends you something? It'd be a short little thing. A guy just appears, runs to you, and then runs away. And
Yeah.
that's basically it. I mean, it would be a great way to just keep that immersion factor, not having to always go to a mailbox or find a mailbox and I wonder where it goes, who takes the mail. I never see anyone pick up the mail, but it always seems to end up somewhere else. People care about this stuff for some reason. But anyways, so yeah, I definitely think that would be a very cool
Yeah,
feature
I'd
to have.
agree with that, and I think it'd be totally possible to do as well. So, yes, agreed.
So think about it, guys, over there at Cinemax.
We know you're listening to us.
Next question is from Mad Fox, and it's about guild leader changes.
Hey, ShoddyCast, this is Matt Fox. I have a new question. If a guild leader, let's say, has been playing the game for 6 years, and he doesn't want to play anymore, and that the guild wants to keep going, would you think they'll be able to pass the torch with a new guild leader, replacing the old guild leader for a new one? So for the original guild to continue without the original leader who made the original guild. Last time I played WoW, the only way for a guild to continue to exist, to my knowledge, is if the leader still remains. If the leader of that guild stops playing, that guild dies. So I was thinking that might be an issue for people who want to keep that guild going. Thank you, ShoddyCast, and for answering my questions. I would think of joining your guild if you create one. Hopefully PS4.
No, we're not going to PS4, sorry. But we will have a guild for sure. Probably multiple, because there's not going to be enough room if they're sticking to that 300 member limit. But to your question at hand about...
Real quick before you move on, if you're interested in joining the ShoddyCast Guild, you could go to our website. We actually have a forums. We have a forums for the ShoddyCast Guild.
Yeah, there's a section there somewhere. Somewhere there. But yes, let's see. We don't actually know the answer to the question though. Like, will a guild leader be able to just promote someone to guild leader so they can then quit the game, basically? But why would you ever want to quit ESO? I don't get it.
Yeah, this
question makes no sense.
does not make sense to me. I'm very confused. No.
But honestly, we don't know, but we definitely think that should be something that is addressed. We know they're still very actively working on their guild system, so I would just recommend that you go ahead and ask them about that and see if you can get a reply from them.
Yeah, it seemed like a very simple feature to have. So, yeah, I'd definitely push it their way.
All right, next question is from Vinny, and it is about role-playing features.
Hi ShoddyCast, Marvelite Vincent here. I was wondering if you think ESO will be a game that lends itself to the role players of the test fanbase. After following this channel for quite some time, I can't help but feel that the game truly is leaning to a PvP focus, which I'm okay with if it's still possible to roleplay. And do you think the fanfiction and machinima community will have a lot to work with in this game? I gotta say, I love your lore videos, Josh, and Kyle, you're an amazing editor. And while I respect your queen, I'm sorry to say that I follow the tribunal and will be fighting for Mother Morrowind. See you on the battlefield.
What was that?
Death to your queen, Alexia, and long live our queen.
Yes.
All right, so does this game cater more to the role players or more to the PvPers? There's a bit of both going on, really, obviously. I think there's a serious focus there on PvP, especially when it comes to endgame. You know, you have Matt Fyroor there from Dark Age of Camelot, and a lot of the developers working on ESO have that sort of background. The role players got kicked in the balls a couple of months ago because they actually had a roleplay Ask Us Anything or whatever, and they were talking about some doors you're not going to be able to walk through, doors that are being glued shut, you couldn't sit in chairs and things like that. And there was an uproar over that, and we called ZeniMax out on that because it's kind of ridiculous that you wouldn't have a RP-centered MMO. You know, that's what Elder Scrolls is. Elder Scrolls is an RPG. And so, luckily, since then, we've seen a lot of love coming in the direction of the role players in lieu of a massive amount of emotes that we can do.
Oh, so many.
Yes.
Which they've even opened up to the community to come out with more of them, which will then be added into the game.
Which any role player knows how important their emotes are to them, as well as there is now a slash sit, I think it is.
Sit chair.
Sit chair, slash sit chair, and a chair just...
You pull a chair out of your ass.
Yes, basically.
And you sit on it.
But there, yes, it does allow the option to then go into a tavern, actually pull up a chair, and enjoy a glass of mead with your buddies. There's also a slash drink emote.
You probably can't slash
eat.
drink while you're slash sit chairing.
I hope you can, because that would suck. If you're looking for an MMO that really caters to role players that is on the market right now, I'd highly recommend Lord of the Rings Online, because they have an excellent roleplay community, because those developers actually take the time to cater to their roleplay community. Now, like I said, we're seeing that shift in ZeniMax. They're starting to feed the role players a lot more. Ever since First Person was added to the game, the role players have all come back, and they're cheering ZeniMax on and letting them know what they want. So that would just be my recommendation to any role player out there. Start getting involved with your communities. There's already websites up for any role players. Get involved with a guild even before launch, and let ZeniMax know what you would like to see as a role player in the game. Let them know that you guys are an audience that should be catered to, because you are. I think that pretty much sums it up. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's like, I know it seems like that's all we've heard about recently was PvP, but I mean, that's just because there's a lot of information on it, and they hadn't released it until just recently. So there's just a lot of information that's been coming out, so it does seem like, oh man, that's all they talk about is PvP. That's all this game is going to be, is PvP. But there's such a massive amount more content by far for PvE than there is for PvP. It's just that's how the news comes out. It comes out in chunks, and it's very oriented on specific subjects, like PvP.
Yeah, so that's where you're seeing. Last note before we move on from this question, I think the single biggest feature missing for the role players right now is a way to flag yourself for roleplay. And by that I mean, we know we have this mega server, they're throwing us all in with a bunch of people. We no longer have a questionnaire that can separate the role players from the people who don't like roleplay. There needs to be some sort of system in place that can identify role players to other role players, people that you know you can engage in dialogue and they would actually roleplay along with you. World of Warcraft had that with an add-on, and luckily we're going to have add-ons in ESO, so even if ZeniMax doesn't support a tool like this, hopefully some add-on developer out there will add it. But it's just a simple thing. It's you flag yourself for RP just like you would flag yourself for like Do Not Disturb. Shows up next to your nameplate that you're open to RP. And yeah, that's definitely a tool that I would definitely get out and let ZeniMax know that you would want as a role player.
Alrighty, and the last question here is from William, and it's about crafting.
Hey ShoddyCast, I was just wondering how are professions going to work in ESO? Is it going to be like Skyrim where it's open world, you walk along the road, you pick up a flower, you go back to an alchemy table, and you like make a potion? Or is it going to be like World of Warcraft where you have a trainer and you only get to pick like one or two? Because I know that sometimes in MMOs they have to limit a few things, but in ESO they probably might not have to limit it. But what do you think? Is it going to be like Skyrim? Or is it going to be a mix of Skyrim and World of Warcraft? Or is it going to be like World of Warcraft? Anyways, thank you guys for answering my question, and thank you.
Alrighty, so is the crafting more like Skyrim style, or is it more like traditional MMO, like WoW, where you have to like pick ones and then you are very limited into what you can actually do and learn? From what we've seen, read, and heard, it's going to be very much close to the Skyrim thing. You can, well, of course, you'll be limited to maxing out a profession or being a jack of all trades and like learning all of them, but not nearly maxed, maybe halfway or something like that. But it's going to be very open to where, yeah, you can go out there, get your gathering materials, whatever stuff you need, and you can also buy stuff from merchants that you might need for crafting, and then just start making stuff and fiddling around with what are the additives, that's the other thing, to add specific stats to weapons and armor. So it's going to be very, at least until there's websites that basically tell you how to make stuff, it's going to be very...
trial and error
Yeah,
type.
experimental, trial and error type stuff. So it's definitely going to be very open. And you'll be able to make anything that is in the game, basically, through crafting. Any armor that you can find in a dungeon will be craftable. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit there. And that was it for the questions of the week. Now let us go into the donations of the week.
Yes, our pimps, as it were.
Hopefully I will survive this massive onslaught of words. Because, you know...
Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, you know we're not good with the whole words.
We've never been good with the wordses, you know?
Yeah.
It's not been our thing.
So I'm going to tell you guys now, for those who donate and have these massive messages, let's keep it to about text length, about 160 characters, maybe a little bit longer. I'll give you maybe 200.
Okay, 200 characters.
But anything getting longer than that, I'm going to have to start trimming it myself. So if you want me moving words around and just totally messing up your whole entire thing, I'm going to do it. So
don't make me do it.
So
I'll do it.
Keep them short, because these, I know half of you are going to fall asleep while I'm reading these things. So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's get into it. First one is from, oh, come on, get proper names. Just kidding. Rari. You say that. Rari. There's too many vowels in your name, guy. Rari. Your name is Rari now.
Rari.
Harrington.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You have Martin Hirschner.
Martin Hirschner. That's a name I know.
He might be Dragonborn. I haven't
Might
checked.
be Dragonborn.
We'll go with that. Sorry, guys, but this is very last minute. None of your business. Thank you, sir.
Nice.
That's a nice name. Is it Slavic? It sounds Slavic.
I think that's Ron Swanson right there. It doesn't want it traceable back to him. Come on, any Parks and Rec fans out there? Come on, show yourselves.
Raise your hands. All right, Callum Joel. Thank you, sir. I'm pretty sure that's another new donor there. Mark Dixon. Crap. Mark Dixon, what are you?
Hermaeus Mora.
And Jacob Slapinski.
Dragonborn.
Why?
Because I like to make you work.
It's already in the afternoon, man. I have a lot of work to do. I have music to find for you. You're doing all this stuff.
Hey, you keep complaining, I'll do it again.
And I won't do the Dragonborn thing. How about that? Anyways, he says the Elven Master race is a highly organized and perfectionist PvP guild, but yet we are not hard asses. Browse our website and learn about how our guild works. You may want to join. That's elvenmasterrace.engine.com. Why aren't you giving us your website, Mr. Jacob Slapinski? I have to find your website and put it in there for you.
Because he doesn't want to be too aggressive with it. He's not a hard ass, like he said.
Go Google us. You might find us somewhere.
I like the guild is called Elven Master Race. But, you know, we're not hard asses. We're not crazy about it.
No. Anywho,
like a lazy supremacist, you know? It's like, elf power, but
I'll hate you later.
But I'm not going to get off my chair.
Jonathan Scove or Scov. He says, "Hey, you're doing an awesome job. I'll say job. And I love your work. I am Josh, and I am Kyle." I'm being you too.
Okay.
"We are the ShoddyCast, and we want to ravage the Queen." You have no idea.
Yeah. That's right. I don't think in the way you mean it, though. Talking. Under the covers. Okay, that's enough. Let's...
Timothy Brownell? Yeah. He says, oh god. "Hello, Josh and Kyle, and all my fellow Dunmer and followers of the greatest Daedric Lord, Sheogorath. It is I, your dashing, ingenious, handsome, world's greatest stabby McStabber with a dagger, Bedin Drakehart." Clap, 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 clap. Thank you. Yes, I have come to bring word directly from our one true Lord and Master, Sheogorath. His Excellency requires a tribute from both of you. Yes, I know what you're thinking. But oh great Vedin Drakehart, how shall we pay tribute? And in what form of currency? Well, I'd be as happy as a Mad Hatter Khajiit in a skooma den to tell you to how and in what form. I guess I'm supposed to be saying this. "Josh, my darling brother, who was always better with the ladies at the Weeking Skeeber than I ever will be, who is also smarter than little old me. I look up to you and wish to tell you that you're the real star in this show, and I am your faithful co-host and servant for Sheogorath. Down with the Queen." Okay.
Wow. Kyle, I never thought I would have heard those words come out of your mouth.
Yeah,
but...
it's almost as if they were, my words put in, text form.
Almost like that. Shucks, I'm blushing now.
Totally. Any next? Wow. Okay.
Anywho,
yeah, I told you we're good with the words.
There you go.
Vincent Delator says, "Hello, ShoddyCast. I just wanted to thank you guys for an amazing work you've done. Josh, your lore videos are incredible, and Kyle, I look up to your editing prowess." Why do people think I edit?
Well, you edit ESO
I edit
Weekly.
this. Okay, yeah. Well, sure. I also have a message for anybody in the Shodians who enjoys Elder Scrolls fan fiction. Come check out my YouTube channel. It is called Marvel Light Vincent. I have a simple fan fiction series that I make for fun. They are videos I've created for the simple pleasure of telling stories in the Elder Scrolls universe. I don't have voice actors, but I do have passion. All are welcome. As for the Aldermary Dominion and the Daggerfall Covenant, I guess they're Ebonheart Pact here. They will come to fear the Flame of the East, Draven Telvos, who fights for the Tribunal, for Morrowind, and for the Pact. And that was from Marvel Light Vincent.
I'll see you on the battlefield, Flamer of the East.
And kick your ass for making me read all that.
Yeah.
Next up is Stephen Fish. He says, thought of a couple names for the new pad. How's about the Shoddy Shack?
Shoddy Shack? That's
it's
good.
Got some Satanin nostalgia to it, whatever that means. Or maybe the Foos Roden. LOL. Oh, hey, Kyle, werewolves suck. What? Smooth jazz, not what? Okay, this is just going way off topic. Hey,
doesn't even make sense anymore.
Hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hasn't happened yet. Keep up the legendary work, and most importantly...
oh, sorry. For the Queen!
It's your only job.
I know.
And you're messing it up. Adam Beal, he says, just wanted to say thanks for all the work. Josh and Kyle, I enjoy every bit of it. Not trying to brag, but been with you since 20k subs. Congrats on 100k. Here you go. Wish I could give you more. Well, you know what? It's more than most, so thank you.
Yeah.
Anthony Crowley, who apparently is from Supernatural, because that is a character from Supernatural. Anyways,
Cool.
Going on.
Fun fact. Shoddy fun fact.
God. This is the biggest quote I've ever seen in my life. Are you a chivalrous Khajiit player? Do you shun the vile ways of thievery and assassination and like to break the stereotype that has befallen our proud race? Looking for a group to call your own? Then join the Knights of the Steel Claw. We're a group of chivalrous Khajiit players who just want to explore and adventure together, all the while helping our fellow Khajiits and players and having fun. While you're known as knights, there are plenty of more roles to be filled within our ranks. We need archers, skirmishers, mages, healers, smiths, alchemists, merchants, and just about any other play style you can think of.
They want it all.
Even sneaky types are welcome. Full-blown thieves and assassins, however, will be shown the door. Well, that's mean. We have a light commitment and pride ourselves on the freedom we give our members while still maintaining a chivalrous code of honor. If you're interested in joining the KNOSC, Jesus, you must first have a Steam account, then find the Steam group Khajiit Lovers.
These guys are a bunch of furries. You just know
gracious
it, right?
enough to be our hosting Steam group, and I'm certain that any Khajiit player will fit right in with them. We are located on the Scratch Table sub-forum on their discussion page. Knight Founder, Duralian Tiger, Steel of Life, Honor and Death. A nice picture, by the way. That is up there for like 20 minutes. It took me to read all that. Thank you, Anthony. Next one here is from Perry Roberts. He says, to be honest, I was a little skeptical about donating to you guys. I was not sure if it truly went into the ShoddyCast as you said it did. After watching the lore series, the animation from the season 2 is way better than 1. I now truly believe you guys that the money goes back into the ShoddyCast, and this is something I want to support. Thank you for all your hard work and all the little details you do. You have made a dedicated fan out of me.
Well, I appreciate you believing us now. We're actually, and I'm kicking around this idea, I've been kicking around in my head for a while now, and this is the first time I'll tell Kyle, but I was thinking about doing a sort of behind the scenes with the ShoddyCast, a vlog on how the lore series is made and all that. So you guys,
that'd be so boring.
No, I think it would be exciting. I think it'd be cool.
And if you like documentaries, then yes, you'll enjoy it.
How
because
it's made, man.
It'll be a lot of us just sitting on our ass at the computer, doing all this crap.
I'll edit it to be a little more exciting than that, obviously.
Sure. There'll be like explosions in there for no reason whatsoever.
Makeshift explosions, some badass metal and stuff. No, but it should be interesting, and it'll give you guys the opportunity to see where all the money's going, because it is definitely put to good use. I mean, the microphones we're talking about, or we're talking on now, cost a pretty penny, and yeah, we definitely put the money to good use. And if you'd like to see more of that happening, tune in on Friday for the next installment of the Fallout lore series.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a little something special we were able to throw in there because of your guys' donations. So
you guys'
yeah, keep your eyes out for that. Anyway, I think we have reached the end of this episode, have we not?
Yes, sir, we have. I just want to say that if you would like to be a sponsor of the ShoddyCast, head over to ShoddyCast.com, and you'll see a donation button on the right-hand side of the screen. If you donate $10 or more, you can leave a promotion for us to butcher through as we did today. But please, guys, please, keep it short and sweet.
Yes, any and all septums go back into the ShoddyCast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. That is the biggest thing you could do to support our channel. You could also like and share this video with everyone you know. Have a happy turkey day. I have been Josh.
I'm Kyle.
We'll catch you later.
Yes, my Eek loves books and loves the ShoddyCast too. Why not kill many birds with single stone and click the Audible link in the description below. Choose any audiobook from thousands for free. You must trust my Eek on these things.